this is Paul Anka. You're listening to my good buddy and favorite DJ, Jimmy Deal. So hang in.
Welcome to the show, Roy Hamilton Jr. How are you? Great to have you with us.
I'm fine. How you doing, Jimmy? Thanks for having me on.
So happy to speak with you. So excited about talking to you. I know you have a very busy schedule out there in Las Vegas. A lot going on, right? Fill us in. What's going on out there?
Wow. Well, you know what? I've been out here for 18 years. Me and my lovely wife, Maria. We've been working together as a team.
Right.
We've been producing these shows out here. And our latest show is called Rock and Roll and Soul Legends Tribute. That's the show is going to be at the Silver 7 Hotel Casino.
Right.
On 4100 Paradise Avenue.
Right.
It's going to be a dinner and a show, 6 p.m. The tickets are at Eventbrite.
Eventbrite. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're going to have a great co-stars.
Yeah, Benedito King, I believe, right?
Benedito King, yeah.
And Elvis Presley Jr.
Yeah, so we decided to team up and work together to do this fabulous show. So we're really looking forward and I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, it's a big show. It's Saturday, June 15th, Rock and Roll and Soul Legends Tribute. Benedito King, of course, Roy Hamilton Jr., Elvis Presley Jr., Silver Sevens, 4100 Paradise Road. 6 p.m. is dinner, 7 p.m. the show. And it's Everbright is where you get the tickets, right?
Eventbrite, yes.
Eventbrite. There you go. Okay. And also, tell us how your fans can keep up with you and keep in touch with you with your shows and everything that's going on with you. Do you have a website or social media?
Site, royhamilton.com, royhamiltonjr.com. You can get more information about us, and we're on all the music streaming platforms, social media. You name it. We're on Facebook.
So awesome. Well, it sounds like a fantastic show. I wish I was out in Las Vegas to actually see the show. I wish I was in town, man. That would have been awesome. But I know you've been singing since you were like what, 5 years old?
Yeah, I've been singing since I was 5 years old. I got my first record deal when I was 14. So my mother, myself, and my brother, we formed the first mother and son singing group. Okay. And we got signed under Columbia Records through Monument.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the pick song was "You Better Get It While You Can."
Oh wow, really? Oh wow! And tell us about, you guys went out and performed live with the song, with the album, right? You guys did an album together, right?
Yes, we did an album. It was in tribute to my dad. We got together with Clyde Otis, the big time big band producer, and he used to work with my dad, Roy Hamilton, and Brooke Benton. They were writing team.
Right.
So they got to they worked together, and my dad encouraged Brooke to record, and he recorded, and that was my dad was influencing him on getting his career started. But anyway, when we went to Clyde, we auditioned for him. He loved the way we sang, and we started we formed a group, and we recorded an album in tribute to my dad.
So awesome. Of course, your dad's the legendary Roy Hamilton. So many great songs, of course. Ebb Tide, right? So many great songs. Your dad was such a legend. You'll Never Walk Alone. That was my high school song that we had. Yes, that was pretty awesome. And so many celebrities looked up to your dad, including Elvis, right?
Yeah, Elvis was an amazing artist, but he was really inspired by my dad. He emulated my dad almost to the letter, and they were really good friends. They became good friends.
Yeah, one of my favorite songs that your dad did was called "Don't Let Go." Love that song. Of course, Unchained Melody, "You'll Never Walk Alone." So many of the great songs. Elvis, of course, recorded "You'll Never Walk Alone." He also did "Unchained Melody" with the Righteous Brothers, of course, did that. And I know your dad met Elvis. I think it was at the American Sound Studios when Elvis was recording there in Memphis, right?
Right, Chips Moment Studios.
Chips Moment.
Yep. It was July of 1969.
Wow.
My dad was penciled in to record during the daytime, Elvis during the night, and it was a perfect opportunity for Elvis to meet my dad finally, his idol, and They went down there to the studio, worked together. They started, working, and writing songs and stuff like that. And they had a song penciled in for Elvis, but Elvis thought my dad could do a better job.
Uh-huh.
So he gave the song to my dad, and that song was called Angelica.
Oh, really? Wow, that's so
Yeah,
awesome. I was down in Memphis last August, and I went over to see. Now I believe it's a Family Dollar store, but the old location of the American Sound Studio where Chips Moman was,
yeah.
and all that legendary meeting took place.
Hmm.
And of course, there's that famous picture of your dad and Elvis, which is so awesome.
Yeah,
And Elvis really idolized your dad, which is great. I mean, there's no bigger compliment than that for sure. And your dad is a legend himself. And
yeah.
of course, your dad. I'm so surprised he's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right? I know there's a petition going around to get him into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, that's why we launched a petition, and we've been working on that petition since 1998. When we
Uh-huh.
started doing hand signed petitions, but we do have a website, royhamilton.com, where
Hmm.
you can sign the electronic petition, and then you can help to get him inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Wow, that
Yeah,
would be
so
so awesome. He belongs there. If anybody belongs in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Roy Hamilton belongs in there. Uh,
yeah,
for sure. And also, your dad, he worked with so many great people besides Chip Bowman and of course Neil Hefti, right? Your dad worked with him and so many great people. Of course, he gave us the Batman theme, right, and all that type of thing, and the art couple.
yeah. It was an amazing composer, and when he worked with my dad with so many songs on the Soft and Warm album, he did some beautiful, songs that this inspired so many people, and that's why we're still trying to get him inducted into Hall of Fame. With that
Yeah.
Go and Ebb Tide.
Yep, all those great songs. And you have a lot of songs of your own that you have done, and there's so many on iTunes, right? Tell us about some of the songs that you have on iTunes.
Yeah, well, my first recording was called 1,000 Ways, which I wrote inspired by my lovely wife, Maria.
Mm-hmm.
It's called 1,000 Ways. And I have several other songs. I have another song called Man Up in the Sky that was written by Barrett Strong from Motown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I did a few of his recordings too. I met him in Detroit
Right.
while stationed up there for a bit. I'm doing some radio programs and stuff.
Right.
With my wife, and we happened to meet him because we had a radio program called Roy Hamilton Remembered, the
Right.
Golden Hour. So we did that for several years, and I was working at the Fox and Hounds restaurant. We were doing jazz music up
Oh,
there
nice.
on Thursdays and Fridays. When that restaurant was open. So we did that for about 9 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I happened to meet Barrett Strong from Motown, and he said, "Well, I got some songs for you." So I recorded about 4 or 5 of his songs, and I was able to meet the Motown legends.
Amazing. Now, you also, when you first started, you did some duets with your dad, right? I believe when you were like, 7 years old? It was New Year's Eve, right? That was the first one that you did?
Yeah, well, Dad kind of got the message that I could sing a little bit, so he said he decided to introduce me to, the audience. So brought me up on stage. We were at the Nassau Beach Hotel in Nassau, Bahamas, and Lyndon Pendling, which was the president at the time.
Right.
He was in attendance, and my dad brought me up on stage. We sang "Don't Let Go" and "Oh When the Saints Go Marching In."
Wow, so awesome. And then you also did a lot of the cool clubs, right? Didn't you do the Peppermint Lounge and the Cotton Club, right? A lot of different clubs that your dad did, right?
Yeah, Dad used to perform up there in Jersey City at the Peppermint Lounge, Cotton Club in New York.
Mm-hmm.
We were in New Jersey, Atlantic City for a while. He used to be at the Club Belmont. He used to
Okay.
be Wonder Garden, then the Harlem Club, which was like one of the main nightclubs that all artists, all of singers used to go down there and perform.
Right.
Like Nat King Cole and who else? Sammy Davis Jr.,
Wow.
Frank Sinatra, Blue Eyes, and everything. All was down there at the Harlem Club. So what happened with that was it was on Kentucky Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to preserve the Harlem Club. It's kind of like the Apollo of Atlantic City.
Right.
So they weren't able to get them to keep it open, and they ended up tearing down the building. But they put all the memorabilia on a on the boardwalk in a museum.
Oh,
So you can
wow.
see those things, some of those, memorabilia there at Atlantic City.
Oh, that's so awesome. So
Yeah, yeah.
cool.
We used to every year they had a thing called the Kentucky Avenue Renaissance.
Right.
And I performed out there with them, and I opened up for the Delphonics. We used to play jazz on the beach, and
Mhm.
at the Kennedy Center.
Oh,
I
wow.
did so much stuff when I was in Atlantic City, but it was so great to be, continue to keep Dad's legacy alive.
Absolutely. You did. I mean, you worked at the Claridge Resorts, a lot of those hotels back in the day, right?
Yeah, well, when we decided to go to the casino industry area, because we had the kids,
Hmm.
my wife and myself, we got married in 1990. I mean
Right.
1980, and we got the kids and everything. So we said, well, I want to do some more shows. I want to sing, and it was better that we come to Atlantic City, where all the casino industry and everything is, where all the stages were,
Right.
instead of going on the cruise ship. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that's how I ended up.
Atlantic City is the place to be. Absolutely.
uh,
And you started performing a lot of your dad's songs in your show as well, right? I mean, it was a lot of your original hits, right? And then you added your dad's songs, or how did that come about?
Well, my wife encouraged me to start singing a lot of the songs and record them,
Hmm.
because at the time it was like all about pop 40 and everything else, and everybody was doing, they was doing Michael Jackson, they was doing this and they was doing that out there. So I was kind of trying to keep up with what was popular.
Right.
And my wife said, Maria, she's my wife and manager. We've been married 44 years.
Maria's great.
Wonderful. She encouraged me. So why don't you go ahead and record some of these songs and sing on these songs? Because these, I was like, well, nobody wants to hear that. I was under a different. I thought differently at that time.
Right. Right.
I was thinking that everybody wants to hear all what's happening now. Everything happening now. Everything happening now.
Well, yeah,
So
I mean, a lot of people want to hear that legendary stuff.
that's
Don't let
right.
go. I mean, that never gets old. That never gets old.
Of course, a hit is always a hit, and I found that out really quickly that "Don't Let Go," for one thing, actually was a snippet of that was used at the Cowboy Carter. Beyonce used it on her new album.
Oh, did she? Oh, wow.
Yes, she did. The Smokehouse selection where she's like scrolling through the radio, and
Mhm.
yeah, and Willie Nelson comes on, and he's the announcer.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so she scrolls through the radio, and several of the artists comes up, like Big Mama Thornton, and Maybelline by
Right.
Chuck Berry and all that stuff. Then Roy Hamilton's section comes on where he says, "Hear that whistle? It's 10 o'clock. Come on, baby, it's time to rock." That one. Yeah, so we were so happy that she used Dad's version of "Don't Let Go" on there.
That's so awesome. And your dad did a lot of the old legendary television shows, right? Ed Sullivan, right? Steve Allen, all that type of thing, right? When did you first realize that, hey, my dad is a famous guy?
Well, I was like in grade school, and my friends, their parents watched television. They watched Ed Sullivan. They watched, the all the different, television personalities,
Right.
and Dick Clark. He was on Dick Clark. He was on Ed Sullivan. He was on Steve Allen. He was on, so many others. There
Yeah.
was another one, Frank. What's his name? Is Frank? Oh my God! But anyway, we had, they would interpret. Oh, your dad's a movie star, because my
Well, he
dad.
did do a movie, right? He did. Let's Rock he was in that.
He did 2 movies. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, he did 2. One was called Hawaiian Boy, and one was called Let's Rock.
Yeah, and I think Let's Rock also had like Paul Anka in it, right? Della Reese,
Paul Anka, Della Reese, the Bellboys, so many others, and Julius LaRosa. It was all about how Julius LaRosa was doing big band music, and his manager said, "Look, I need you to come down here and check out Roy Hamilton at the recording studio, because he's down here doing this rock and roll, and if you want to stay on the label, you're going to have to make that transition."
Right.
And he said, "Oh, really? Oh, Roy Hamilton, huh?" He's like, "Yeah, come on down to the studio." And then they tune into my dad down there and they said, "Okay, Roy, you want to cut one?" And he's like, "Yeah, he's ready," you know. But my dad didn't have a speaking part in that because they would have had to pay him more money. So
Right.
he wouldn't say. He just said, "Well, okay, I'm ready," you know. And they just
Wow.
did the thing. My chickadee, come here to me, toot out your lips, look out, here come love. Don't mind the clock, let's do the rock. You know what I mean? Smack me,
Absolutely.
yeah. Look out, here come love. You know.
So awesome. Yeah, I mean, your dad was Epic Records, right? Biggest star, I would say, right? The first big star to come out of Epic, right?
Yeah. Well, it was Columbia Records. Heard my dad through his manager Bill Cook. Bill Cook brought a tape down there, and they were interested, and they decided they was going to sign my dad, and they signed him under Epic Records, which
Oh,
was
wow.
the
The subsidiary of it, yeah.
of Columbia. So actually, Roy Hamilton was the first million-selling artist on Epic Records,
Amazing.
which is now Sony.
Yeah. It's amazing how the record business keeps on changing, right?
Yeah, record deals is a great thing. It's great to be able to, that dad was able to get his start, through Epic Records, and then later they didn't agree on the contract for some reason. He ended up leaving Epic and going to MGM and then RCA,
Right.
and AGP, the different labels, But he got his start at Epic.
That's so awesome. And also your family's like pretty much in the business too, like, right? You have your sons. I mean, I know they're producers and stuff, right? Tell us about that.
Well, like I said earlier, me and my lovely wife, Maria, we've been married 44 years. We raised the children listening to Roy Hamilton in the backseat of the car.
Right.
Continued to work. So as I got a little older, they got a little older. We was like, well, you know what? I want to go into the recording studio, start, recording some music. So we brought them with us. So my oldest, who was Roy Hamilton III, he helped me do my first demo, and we went in there together, and we did the background vocals together, and we would do like talent shows together. That all of us, the four of us, would get up there on stage, and they'll be backing me up doing the dance moves and everything, and I'll be singing my songs and stuff. So, we really developed into a great musical family, and he has a company stationed in Canada called the Singers Company.
Oh, wow.
And he's a record producer, songwriter.
Right.
He mentors the upcoming artists, through his company, and he writes songs and he does the whole thing.
Amazing. So cool. And I know you teach, you're also a voice.
Just mentioned my youngest son, Raphael. He's also a record producer anyways, worked with a lot of artists like Britney Spears. And he also had a hit on R. Kelly's last album with with Carrie Hilson. It's called Number One.
So cool.
That was R. Kelly's last hit song.
Oh, was it really? Oh, wow.
Trouble.
Did you also work with Michael Jackson at one time or no?
Well, my son.
Your son. Yeah.
Yeah, he worked with Michael Jackson. He worked on the Dangerous album, and he
wow. Okay.
It became platinum. He's done many songs. He worked with Britney Spears, Michael Jackson, Casey and JoJo, so many artists. Just to name a few.
Yeah. Now your dad, I mean, of course, he had such a fabulous voice. Was his voice natural? Did he take any vocal training? I know you teach vocal training too a little bit, right?
Yes, I mean he did. Dad took operatic lessons, and I also took some opera lessons myself too. And in my early part of my career. So to try to actually just listening to Dad, was a big major influence on me. To be able to try to to emulate him as much as possible. And then I got a couple of teachers to help me along.
Wow, I mean, you have such a great voice as well, and then you took the show out to Las Vegas, right? I mean, and you worked at many of the hotels there, Sahara, right? So many of those great hotels, the Las Vegas Hilton, of course, and so many great people you worked with. Tony Drake, Lisa Gay is a good friend of mine. She's been on the show. Tell us about that. Some of the great people you worked with.
Yeah, I've worked with Dennis Bono. He has.
You're the bootlegger. I know Dennis.
I'm the bootlegger as well at the South Point. He
The
does
South
the
Point.
matinee show there, and
Right.
and he introduces a lot of the local talent, local artists. So I've been on his show several times.
Yeah, every Thursday, I believe that is at noon. I think he does that show,
Yeah,
which is great. Every time I'm in Vegas, that's one of the things I always go see is Dennis's show at the South Point. It's a great show.
yeah. When we got out here, it was like 17, 18 years ago. We met Lisa and Tony Drake. Tony
Mhm.
Drake was the guitar artist who worked on Bad Mama Jamma, and they
Yeah.
were all out there working, just trying to get something together.
Right.
We worked out there called the Hawaiian Marketplace. It
Ah,
was right there on Las Vegas Boulevard, a big amphitheater outside, with all the kiosks and stuff like that around, with all the
nice.
the shops and everything, and restaurants for souvenirs and stuff. And we were out there just doing our thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of that stuff is on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many places to perform. I know the Bootlegger was. I know I used to go there all the time. They always had great dinners and great shows there all the time. And it was
Still do.
great people.
Yeah, still do. They have great lasagna over there.
They do. That's right, they do. Yeah. So I mean, so do you still perform at the Bootlegger? You still do shows around the strip right now?
Yeah, I'm about to do a spot on Dennis Bono's again because we are promoting this show that me and my wife are producing with with our co-stars, Benedito King and
Elvis Presley Jr.
Yeah, so we've been promoting that song. It's going to be at the Silver Sevens Hotel Casino. They just opened up a beautiful showroom over there. So we were able to get up there to do that show. So we're really excited about that. I've been all over the place here in Vegas. I've performed at Sam's Town, Suncoast. I performed at the South Point. I performed at the what is it, Suncoast, and several other casinos. The Sahara.
And even the Italian American Club, right? I mean, I'm familiar with that place.
Also at the Stratosphere.
The Stratosphere. Oh, wow.
So I did things at the Stratosphere too.
Yeah, Lenny Counts is a good friend of mine. I told Lenny he wanted to say hello to you, so I spoke to him earlier today. I told him you were going to be on the show. He said he goes, "Oh, I know Roy."
Hey, Lenny, woohoo! Good to see you. Yeah,
Lenny Counts, man. He's also a great voice, great talent around Las Vegas.
Yeah, well, it's good to be part of the music scene here in Vegas. Because it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on, but you know what? It takes time to really get involved, and to get kind of a real good placement.
Yeah.
So like I said, me and my wife, we've been producing this show called the Roy Hamilton Jr. The Legacy Continues. And the 16-piece orchestra with all Dad's original charts, and we use Woody Woods as our music director. And we just knocked it out of the ballpark, and we wanted to continue to do that. COVID happened, and that kind of like stopped everything, closed down all the shows and the casinos and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So a lot of everybody's starting over, But now it's a good thing that we're, on the other side of all that, and able to get back started doing some great stuff.
Another place I used to go all the time when I was in town was the Tuscany. I know they had a lot of shows. I know Clint Holmes' wife used to be there all the time.
Yeah,
at the little club in the Tuscany Hotel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's still there. They still do a lot of shows over there.
Yeah, I know. I think Laney Counts also did some stuff there as well.
Yeah, they're doing the Rat Pack tribute.
Oh, the Rat Pack. Yeah, that's been there a long time. That's been
still yeah, it's really cool over there.
Yeah,
it's really great to be like I said, to in and around and see what everybody's doing.
Right. Such a fun place to be, especially for entertainment. I mean, so many great people always performing all over the strip, and it's so much tradition there. I mean, and legends. I mean, legendary people that perform there over the years.
It's really sad to see the Tropicana being.
I saw that. Yeah, the Tropicana is gone. I mean, it's more and more of the Las Vegas history is going. It's like blow it up.
That was the original Ocean 11 movie was filmed about the Tropicana.
Yeah, and the Riviera, of course. All those great hotels are gone.
Yeah, my dad used to perform at the Moulin Rouge
did he really? Oh, nice! Wow. Yeah. I've been to the graveyard. I've never been to the Moulin Rouge, but I saw the sign, and they have it in the boneyard there.
At the Neon Museum.
The Neon Museum. Yep.
Yeah, they have a lot of good stuff. I mean, you can still see all the memorabilia there, like at the Neon Museum and a
Right.
few other places around there. Dr. Hamasham's, he had a big place over there on, I think that's uh, what was that the street anyway? Anyway, but he has got a place there. It has all the memorabilia and everything. You go in there, it's almost like he's got planes and fuselages and
Really? Oh, wow.
kind of stuff over there.
That's what I like about too when you go to Dennis Bono's place, the bootlegger. He's got a lot of cool pictures on the walls, of Wayne Newton and all the legends that he met over the years and worked with over the years, which is so awesome.
Yeah, the Wall of Fame is really awesome over there. So.
Yeah, I mean, you also did a Christmas song, right? Tell us about that. I know you had a Christmas song out a while back, right?
Yeah, last year I re-recorded one of Donny Hathaway's songs.
This Christmas?
Yeah, this Christmas, firesides blazing bright, caroling through the night.
There you go.
Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Yeah.
So awesome. And tell us how we could get that on iTunes. Is that available as well?
Yeah. I have a lot of songs on iTunes, Spotify, and all the platforms. I mean, you name it, whatever platform you want to go to stream your music, we're there. Roy Hamilton. Awesome. Yes, sir.
And of course, we got to get your dad into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That has to happen.
Man, we've been waiting so long because me and my wife, we were watching the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for many years, and every time it came on, we'd be tuned in and everything. Well, you know what? They don't mention anything about Roy Hamilton. So he was like, well, you know what? If he's going to get in there, then we have to get him. We have to get him in there. So that's when we launched the petition and we launched the website. So it's royhamilton.com.
Right.
You can find the electronic petition to help get him into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah,
I mean, so I just got a question from a listener. I know my friend Carl Limbo is watching, and he says, I didn't know Elvis had a son out of wedlock. Tell us about Elvis Presley Jr. Tell us a little story about him and his little history. I know you're performing with him.
Well, he's an amazing singer, and his whole story is on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to YouTube, he has a site called The Real Thing on Facebook. It's called The Real Thing, and it's about him and his life and time and who his mother was. Him and Elvis and his mom met on the set. Later down the line, I guess they became good friends, and she had a son for him. They kind of kept it a little hush hush, because they didn't want to cause a scandal. Elvis being as great as he was, and
of course
famous. So I mean, that's how he came about. His mother became a famous actress, and she was even on several Star Trek episodes.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
So yeah, so check it out. I mean, his whole story is on YouTube. You can check him out, and he's got songs and everything. He's an amazing artist. Great co-star.
We'll have to check him out. And also, Benny King's son, of course, is going to be in the show with you. Of course,
Benny King, Stand By Me. Benedito King and
Benedito King.
Yeah, shout out to Benedito and his lovely wife Kim. And Elvis Aaron Presley Jr. I'm so excited to have you all on the show. We're all working together as a team, and just bringing the best that we can to all the fans.
Yeah, I know you were born in New York. Do you ever get to come back here and perform at all? New York and New Jersey, this area, Long Island.
I haven't been back in Jersey in a while since I've been out here, in Las Vegas for almost 18 years now. I haven't really done anything much since. I did the Kwanzaa Festival at the new convention center in Atlantic City, and I used to do a lot of the stuff on the Kentucky Avenue and all that kind of stuff back in the day. But I haven't been there since. But I mean, looking forward to it one of these days. Maybe one of the casinos or something.
Yeah, we'd love to have you back here for sure. It's great. Come back to Atlantic City, hang out.
We see things in New York. Like they have a few places that do jazz in New York. And I was able to get on a couple of spots with a couple of the singers during the time I was up there. But I'm looking forward to coming back to New York sometime to maybe we'll get a tour together or something.
Absolutely, man. That would be fantastic. And also, I want to mention that show again, Saturday, June 15th, the Rock and Roll and Soul Legends Tribute. And it's going to be Benedito King, Roy Hamilton Jr., and, of course, Elvis Presley Jr. It's going to be a fantastic show. It's at the Silver Sevens, 4100 Paradise Road, Las Vegas, 6 p.m. Dinner and 7 p.m. show. And once again, tell us how to get the tickets.
Well, it's a live band, 5-piece band. You know, it's going to be a dinner and a show. They're going to have a cutting board, and they're going to have going all out. Music director said, you know, he's part of the, the food and beverage, and tickets are available now at Eventbrite.
Eventbrite.com, right? It's okay.
Eventbrite.com. Yeah, just go to eventbrite.com and just put Roy Hamilton Jr. there. You'll see everything just pop right up.
Oh, so awesome. Well, anything else you would want to fill us in about before I let you go here?
Well, I thank you so much for having me on the show. You know, to all the fans, thank you so much for remembering my dad, Roy Hamilton.
Roy Hamilton, the legend, man.
And if you'd like to listen to some of our things too, early stuff, there's a song that my mother, she recorded. It's called "You Better Get It." We recorded that as a family, in 1976. It's called "You Better Get It while you can."
So awesome. Well, thank you so much for keeping your dad's legacy alive, and I'm sure he's so proud of you and your accomplishments. I'm sure he's looking down and smiling for sure.
Yes, I'm really happy to be a part of the musical history, and that he left a great legacy for us to continue to carry on, and to be able to just be a positive, just to represent him in a positive light is really what we're all about. And hopefully we can get him into Rock and Roll Fam really soon.
I hope so. So is that petition is still available to sign? Is it still going?
Oh yeah, it's still going.
Okay, good. Also, I got another question from a listener. They want to know, what is your favorite dad's song to perform on stage?
Unchained Melody.
Unchained Melody. Oh, okay, cool.
It's one of my favorite songs, as well as the Righteous Brothers. He recorded that song 10 years before the Righteous Brothers did, and as well as Ebb Tide.
Oh, wow. So did you get to meet a lot of the performers when you were growing up as well? Like, I don't know if you ever met Elvis, but any of the other big performers or Elvis at one time or another?
I've never met Elvis, but I've met a lot of the Motown legends like Marvin Gaye. I've met James Brown. I've met Quincy Jones. I've met Barrett Strong. Money, That's What I Want.
Wow.
I've met Barry Gordy. Barry Gordy mentioned to me that my dad was one of his favorite artists, and fortunately he couldn't sign him at the time because he was already under a different label. So Dad would have been another Motown legend if it wasn't, if he wasn't on a different label at the time. Yeah,
I'm sure during your shows you do Don't Let Go and You'll Never Walk Alone. I'm sure you do all the hits at your shows.
Hit songs. We do all his rock and roll. That's why I call it the new show is called Rock and Roll and Soul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're doing rock and roll and soul. So we have special guests. And come out and enjoy the fun.
Thank you, Roy Hamilton Jr. Thank you so much. Before I let you go, would you do me a favor? Would you do a liner for me for the show? Say, hey, this is Roy Hamilton Jr. You're listening to Celebrity Spotlight with Jimmy Deal, or Jimmy Deal on Celebrity Spotlight, whichever you want to say.
Okay. Hi, my name is Roy Hamilton Jr. and you're on the what is it we call it again?
Say hi. This is Roy Hamilton Jr. You're listening to Jimmy Deal on Celebrity Spotlight.
Okay. Hi, I'm Roy Hamilton Jr. and you're listening to Jimmy Deal on Celebrity Spotlight. Tune in now.
So awesome. Thank you so much. What an honor to have you on. I wish you all the best with the show. I will keep plugging the show for you. And I know it's going to be a great turnout, man.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, and thank Maria. She's been so sweet. Thank you so much for all her help. I've been back and forth in touch with her. She's so great. And of course, she's your manager, your wife, and a great person as well.
Yeah, she is. She's a wonderful woman and a wonderful person. She helps me, dresses me up. Make my appointments on time,
and you look fantastic. You always look fantastic.
Yeah, and she produces the show.
Well, I hope to get out to Vegas soon and hope to get to hang out with you and all my friends out there, Lisa Gay, and then of course Lainey Counts and Dennis Bono and all my friends out there.
Yeah, Yeah. We're looking for it. I'm sure they tune in too to see.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Roy. I really appreciate you coming on the show. Okay, you take care.
Take care. All right.
Good to talk to you, man.
Awesome.
Okay. Bye-bye. Have a great night. Bye-bye. Roy Hamilton Jr., a legend right there. I want to thank everybody for listening tonight. So many great people out there. Cindy, the producer, also sending me over some people that are listening. Let me see what she has out online here for me. Let's see, Cindy, what do you got? All right. I know Carl was out there. Thank you, Carl. I appreciate the cool question about Elvis there. I didn't know that as well, so I learned that as well. Also, Tom Payton. Tom, thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have you on listening with us. And also, I know Beryl's out there in Virginia and her dad. John Wagner's out there. So many people that listen to the show every single week. I really do appreciate Cindy Lake Ronkonkoma. And also coming up on Monday, we have a brand new Celebrity Spotlight, the world's leading John Denver tribute artist, a good friend of mine, Ted Vigil. He's going to be in Long Island coming up in July. So we'll talk all about that show. He is fantastic. If you've never seen John Denver live, you're going to want to see Ted Vigil. This guy is amazing. He looks exactly like him, and he sounds just as good as John Denver. Almost you could compare the voices. It's absolutely amazing. But anyway, Ted Vigil, he'll be on the show Monday, so check him out. And also on Thursday, CEO of Hollywood's Game Changer 3R Entertainment. His name is Carrie Calvin. He's from Hollywood. He's got a lot of stuff going on. He's a producer. He has a clothesline. He produces music. He's also a friend of mine. He's going to be on the show, so that'll be next Thursday. So we have a doubleheader next week. We have one on Monday with Ted Vigil, John Denver tribute artist, and then Thursday with Hollywood's Game Changer 3R Entertainment's Carrie Calvin. He is the CEO of Game Changer 3R Entertainment. Also, actor Dean Butler from Little House on the Prairie. He's going to be here. Sandy Hall, who also is a heart tribute artist. She's absolutely fantastic. She's going to be on the show. My friend Lee Newton is going to be here. Who else? We have also, we just booked someone new too. Hollywood actress Rachel Whittle. She's doing a movie with Eric Roberts. And so she's going to be on the show. She'll tell us all about the movie she's filming with Eric Roberts. And we have a few more people too along the way. We'll let you know. We'll fill you in about that. I think we're going to take the month of August off for the summer, and then we're going to pick Celebrity Spotlight back up in September. But we're going to go have quite a few shows in July. So hopefully you join us for all those shows. They're always fun. And thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it so much. And everybody have a fantastic week. I'll check you out Monday. Ted Vigil, John Denver's tribute artist. He is fantastic. Please check him out. And, of course, Thursday with my buddy Carrie Calvin from Game Changer R3 Entertainment out there in Hollywood. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.